This is Max Shears for Pro Boxing Fans. I'd like to be joined as always by Frank Smith. Frank, both main event fighters around the 182 mark. Why is that? Is it just a catch weight this fight, or?
Yeah, it's the weight the fight was made at. It was always supposed to be a fight for Ben, as he prepared them for his next one, which was going to be is in June. So yeah, that was always the weight the fight was made at.
Does that point towards Ben Whittaker moving up in weight, or?
No, not at all. It was just with him being in camp and then going straight back into a camp is what made the most sense for him with his training team.
Obviously, how much of a test could Brian Juarez be? Obviously, we see him drop Lyndon Arthur. Is it kind of the perfect level for Ben, this?
I think so. I think it's a perfect fight. And you've got someone who's actually game, who's coming to win. You see that with him. You see that in the shape he's in as well. He's not coming here just to lay down and lose the fight. He's had 20 knockouts in his career. He's going to come and bring it to him. But we believe Ben is on a different level as a fighter, and you'll see that on Saturday night.
Leo Atang returns. I think the fighter that he's facing has lost 36 times, but he's only been stopped 3 times. So someone's got to give it. Either Leo's going to get another knockout, or Leo's going to get taken some much needed rounds probably. I mean, is this again the perfect fight for Leo?
Yeah, I think he's been active. This is his 6th fight in I think 11 months. That's always been the key, is give him that activity, and the right type of opponents to step up and give him those rounds. Hopefully he does get some rounds. But if he carries on knocking people out like he is, happy days.
I know we're not going to look past Brian on Saturday, but I mean, we know the US fight is there for Ben Whittaker. What sort of level will that be, do you know?
I think it'll be another step up. He's not looking past it at all. It's our job to look and plan and prepare, and we're getting there with those plans. For him, he's fully focused on Saturday night. He knows he's got a great opponent against him that he's coming up against, and the toughest test in his professional ranks. And he's fully focused on that.
Coming home for the first time in 10 years. How important was it for you, for Matchroom, for her to be able to have this fight, obviously not put on the card as well?
100%. She was a key reason we kept it on. Of course, she sold over 1,000 tickets. You saw with the atmosphere here today, and you'll see the atmosphere tomorrow night for her. She got Jamie Webster performing her in as well. It's going to be a great night for her, and excited to see her back out and stepping up through the ranks, and then hopefully towards the end of the year look to challenge for those world titles.
Facebox Boxing, Will Vickers, Frank Smith. Can you tell us what we've got to look forward to tomorrow night, please?
Boxing, 8 fights, starting at 5:15 all the way through to 10 o'clock. The hottest prospect in world boxing in Ben Whittaker, headlining. Molly McCann, some musical entertainment as well. A great fight in Hayden and McGrail. Leo Atang knocking people out for fun. Steve Clark, so many others. It's going to be a great night of boxing.
Fantastic. Which fight are you looking forward to seeing yourself the best?
I'm looking forward to the main event myself. I think, like I say, I think you've got a fighter coming to win, and I think that's going to bring out the best of Ben Whittaker, someone who's actually coming here to win and, believes they can go in there and win. We saw him cause trouble against Lyndon Arthur, so he's going to go in there with a lot of belief on Saturday night.
What about Molly McCann? How she's been feeling in camp and everything?
She's really good. She's excited. She's looking forward to this opportunity. She's wanted to have a boxing fight here for a long, long time, and I'm glad we could do it.
What are the fights have we got going on this year with Matchroom? What we got coming?
Everything. We announced Foster against Ford last night. It's a great fight. We're about to announce some more fights for the June 6th Sheffield card as well later this afternoon. June 27th is a great card. We've got one more show to be announced before in the June schedule as well. I think it's the best run of shows we've ever had, and I'm looking forward to it.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Playbook Boxing, Frank Smith. So everyone's saying that Whittaker's still fighting far below world level where it should be at. What do you say to the critics about that?
Watch out. Just keep watching. Enjoy the show. Look, if the reality is our job is to build Ben Whittaker into a position that he's going to be a global superstar of the sport for many years to come. And we're not going to listen to outside noise. Our job is to do it in the right manner. We've done it, before my time, for 45 years. Eddie's father started doing it. So that's our job. We're going to deliver for him. I'm not saying fans aren't important, but we're managing the career of someone in the best way possible, and you'll see continued improvements and step-ups with him.
Liverpool's a city with deep boxing heritage. You've got McCann, you've got McGraw on the card. What does it mean to Matchroom to host the card here, and is it something that's quite important to you as you step forward?
100%. We've done, over the years of me being involved in Matchroom, I've had so many great nights in Liverpool, so many great shows. It's a boxing capital of the UK, and good to be back here, and hopefully be back here here even more in 2026 and 2027. We've got a lot of great fighters here, a lot of big ticket sellers on the card as well, so looking to do more and more here.
I have to ask, because Playbook Boxing is very close friends with Johnny Fisher. Obviously, we heard Reactpor call him out after that fight at Fury. What do you think about that? What's on the cards? Is there anything that you can tell us about that?
I think Eddie's meeting Johnny next week, been discussing about the next steps, what kind of fights we're looking for. I don't think the Reactpor fight makes sense. I think the fight makes sense for Richard Reactpor. Look, Johnny's a big commercial draw. That's why everyone calls him out. He's a bit like what they're doing with Conor Benn. Everyone's saying, I want to fight Conor Benn, because they're big commercial draws. So we're going to do again what's right for Johnny Fisher and make the right fights at the right steps. There's some big fights being spoken about, and that's what we're working on now.
Thank you very much.
Frank, obviously we hear so much about a possible 2-fight deal for AJ. We know you've gone back with some comments back to Turkey Sheikh, but assuming AJ does have a warm-up fight, what sort of level would that be, and obviously could that be Deontay Wilder?
I don't think it'll be Deontay Wilder. I think it'll be an opponent that makes sense for him, that the training team want, that sort of sets him up ready for the Fury fight later in the year. I'm not going to give you any names. I'm not the man for tactical names. I'll just make sure we make money and we don't lose money.
Is Fury versus Joshua the game plan then, or is it all up in the air?
It's the fight we all want to make, for sure. It's not done yet, but it's the fight we all want to make, and I'm confident we'll get there with it.
Frank, your old friend Simon Jordan yesterday said
we are friends now. He's not my old friend, he's my current friend now.
Your current friend Simon Jordan yesterday said that knocking out Jake Paul and being beaten by Daniel Dubois doesn't make you a landlord, and if AJ's a landlord, he's an absent landlord. I mean, just what are your thoughts on them comments?
I mean, he's the biggest commercial star, I believe, in the sport, or up there amongst the top 2 or 3. Canelo Alvarez being the other one. I think you have to separate out the two. AJ's in the power position right now. Look at him, you saw him on Saturday. He's the one people want because of the commercial draw he is. So look, Simon Jordan, I don't think he loves Tyson Fury, but I think he obviously favours him in the fight, and he likes to say things that are a bit divisive and get people talking. But AJ's in a great position. I like Simon now. We're getting on very well, but I don't listen too much to all he says.
What do you make of Martin McCauley's comments last week? And obviously there's been a bit since then, but when he was talking about Ben Shalom possibly ruining his career, what would you make of that?
I don't like people talking badly about Ben Shalom. I think it's very out of order. I think there's two sides always to every story. It's not my business. I don't know enough about it to talk on it, in truth. Martin will have his view. I'm sure Ben and the boxer team will have theirs. But yeah, it's not really my business to talk on. As much as you'd like a clickbait, something me to say bad about him, I'm not going to do it today.
Fury and Joshua came to fruition. Where would it be based?
Still TBC. It's ongoing. All the discussions are ongoing. But it would be amazing to see that. Amazing to see that in the UK, for sure.
He's gone to Craig Park, hopefully to make the Katie Taylor deal. How hopeful are you that you'll be able to get it over the line?
If there's one man who can get it done, it's him. If there's another added benefit, is that I'm not there, because I'm not worried about. He's not worried about money then, because I'm not there. So look, it's a dream of ours to do it. We've spoken about it for a long time, and hopefully we can make it happen. It would be a special occasion that Katie deserves.
Have you thought about potential opponents for Katie, or do you just want to get the venue sorted?
I think the key is getting the commercial terms in place to make sure we can do it, and then work from there. Look, I think Katie's gone in there against everyone. She never shied away from a challenge, and now this is about giving her the opportunity she deserves.
Obviously off to Australia end of the month for Sky Nicholson. She said that she wants to obviously get this fight over and done with and wants to go undisputed against Eddie Scotney. Obviously your relationship with MVP is going well at the moment. Would that be something you look to do?
For sure. That's definitely a fight we're interested in. It's our first show on KO and Fox in Australia on April 29th. It's going to be a great night. Sky's looking really good, and that's a fight we want to make happen. Ellie Scotney's a massive fight. She obviously had her win a couple of weeks back on their show on Sky. So yeah, I'm hopeful we can make it happen for sure.
Frank, we know one of your main focuses is obviously the business side of boxing. When we spoke to Eddie, he said he believes that Conor may be in some kind of long-term agreement with Zuffa. From what obviously we hear free agent. Do you think there's an agreement there, or?
I've said it a few times. I mean, if he got paid $15 million to fight an injured Regis Prograis over 10 rounds at £150, and no one from Zuffa turned up, it's probably the worst business decision that's ever been made in the sport of boxing. Don't get me wrong, there's been a few in the past. I think there's more to it, but we shall see. We shall see.
Eddie said he thinks Conor will be best at 154. Do you think Conor takes a fight with a Fundora, a Boots, a Zayas? Do you think he takes any of those fights? And how do you think he does in them fights?
I mean, happy days if he wants to fight. If he wants to fight Boots Ennis or Josh Kelly, I think they smash him to pieces, to be honest. And people say, "Oh, your views change. You thought he was a superstar of the sport." What was I supposed to say? Was I supposed to sit there and go, "No, he's useless. This bloke. Don't watch him." But our job is to promote fighters and talk them up. But I think Josh Kelly as a boxer, I think Boots Ennis, as we all know, I think Boots Ennis is one of the best fighters in the world. I think they do a job on him. So those fights are there to be made. I think he wants the fights at 147 though. He's going to fight Ryan Garcia. I guess that's the fight that's been spoken about a lot. So we shall see what happens post that.
Josh Kelly, is there any fight news on the horizon for him?
Working on it now. Had a couple of calls earlier, so hopefully we can get some news soon for a defence of his IBF title, and then look at unifications later in the year.
Last one from me, obviously just going back to Garcia. The last time we spoke to you, obviously Conor was still on the Matchroom. You rigged up the fight in Vegas. You said that Conor could speak Spanish and stuff like that. It would be a massive spectacle. How do you fancy his chances going into that fight?
No habla español. I think Ryan Garcia is the favourite. And again, people say, you said blah, blah, blah. Yes, I did. I did, because I wasn't going to go, this geezer we promote's got absolutely zero chance, was I? You know? Conor Benn is a brilliant athlete, right? He's a brilliant trainer. I'll never take away his strengths. But from a boxing perspective, he's not from a boxing perspective at the levels of Ryan Garcia. But he can still go in there and cause trouble against those fighters. And if he turns up on 100% on that day, can he beat him? Yeah, sure. But Ryan Garcia is a great fighter. It will be a massive occasion. I'm not taking anything away from it. What I stand by is the fact that it's one of the biggest fights in the sport, Conor Benn against Ryan Garcia. So good luck to him if they make it happen.
And Matchroom Boxing happy with Conor Benn moving on now to Zuffa Boxing?
Are we happy?
Yeah, you know.
I've known Conor Benn since he was 18 years old. I've spoken about this a lot. All he had to do, I think, was deal with it differently. He should have just made a call and said, I've been given this opportunity, and then everything would have been different. He didn't, he played it wrong, but that's the man he is. That's cool. Happy, good luck to him. Like, I'm not wasting too much time thinking about it anymore, to be honest.
Sorry, Frank. Was you surprised that Dana White didn't show up to that fight?
He had the UFC in Miami, I think. I'm surprised that other people from Zuffa didn't show up. But again, you know, maybe there's a broader relationship where they don't need to feel like they've got to make an impression on him. I suppose if he's getting $15 million, it's a good enough impression, isn't it?